I think it was our Sunday dinners with the fried chicken and all of that stuff. But see, we didn't have food like we have today. We just didn't. We had oatmeal. We'd have all the oatmeal we wanted. But we didn't have cereals in boxes like we got now. But we had hot chocolate for our breakfast if we wanted it. But I had bad teeth, and Mom cooked a lot of meat, and I couldn't chew it because my teeth would hurt, and I couldn't eat much meat because it made my mouth so sore. But for taking to school a lunch, Mom made her own bacon powder biscuits. We didn't have light bread, only when she made it. But nothing from the store. But anyhow, she'd make biscuits every morning, and she'd take a piece of ham and put it between a biscuit and wrap it up and give it to us for our dinner at school. Well, I couldn't eat it, so I traded it to a girlfriend for an orange. So that orange tasted better than that ham. I never ate my lunch. I always traded it off. So, we thought the people that lived in town were rich. They wasn't any better off than we was. They were going through the Depression just like we did.
Yeah.
Dad raised pigs. He wasn't a pig farmer, as you say, like they are now, but he raised what meat we would eat. And then when it come time to get the meat ready, each family got their meat ready. Each family moved from farm to farm, the men did, to help do that butchering and help harvest all the food. The older children, some of them would come home and help. Jesse would be there, Raymond and Ruth, and I don't know how much Leonard helped, but anyhow, the older children would come home and help on butchering day, and we didn't keep the liver, we give it away because we didn't have no way to keep it. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have electric box, didn't have no ice, didn't have no way to keep anything. And we didn't even have a well, except way back in the middle of the big pasture. And every night, as soon as we got off the school bus, me and Betty had to take a big gallonized bucket, one in each hand, a big one, and go pump the horse tank full of water for the horses and the cows. They'd been there all day with just what water was left in there. And that big old horse tank took a lot of water. So we spent many hours pumping water. When we got the horse tank filled up the second time for the horses for the next day, we took each a bucket of water, took it up to the house for her day the next day. And outside of that, that's all the well water my mother had for the next day. Had a big smokehouse built right on the back porch for the meat. Dad sugar cured some of the ham and some of the shoulders and hung them up on a big thing and from the ceiling down in a smokehouse. And it was cold out there all during the winter months. You didn't need the freezer. And then Mother, her and Ruth, I remember, maybe Jessie, we made sausage patties, and they would fry them. And Mom would put them in layers in a big round crock that stood about 4 or 5 foot tall. And as they would fry them, she'd pour the lard in on top of them, enough to keep them in space. And whenever we wanted sausage, we just go out and pick out what we wanted to have for a meal, and pick them up out of that lard and take them in the house and get them hot. But that's the way she did the sausage. We never threw anything away, never, because there was 7 kids left at home. There was nothing to throw away. Mom did a lot of canning. We had a basement, shelves built up, and all the canning went downstairs, and So she can everything she could get her hands on. 100 cans of each, whatever she could get. Tomatoes, just what we growed. That's what she can. And Dad liked turnips, so when the garden got done, he went out and dug a cave out in the middle of the garden, and he put his turnips, cabbage, and I don't know what all in that cave, and buried that out in the middle of that garden. And whenever he wanted any of that food, he'd go out and dig some out and bring it in, and that would be a meal. But Mother made the best green beans you ever ate in your life. She took a big piece of fat meat. It had some lean in it, but it was fat. And she'd put all them, great big pan full of green beans. She left them long, she didn't snap them. And put that piece of meat in the center of them and put them on the stove, cooked them all day, slow. Oh, was them green beans good. But we had cornbread, we had mush. We eat a lot of mush because Mom and Dad had bad teeth. And Dad couldn't eat like me. A lot of things he couldn't eat because he didn't have any teeth. And so he ate his mush with sugar and milk on it. But none of the rest of us did. We didn't like it that way. Ate a lot of popcorn. We growed our own popcorn. So some of the farmers did, and then they would share. And I got to help share some of that popcorn, or shell some of that popcorn. So, like I said, you were never bored. You always had plenty to do. You worked. You knowed how to work. And if you didn't work, you didn't eat. That's all there was to it.